guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at fractions, decimals and percentages. So let's begin. Order these values with the smallest first. Now as you can see, it's a bit difficult for us to order these numbers. Now the reason for that is obviously you can see there's a percentage here, there's a fraction here and there's a decimal over here. And each of these numbers have different values depending on whether it's a fraction, whether it's a decimal, and whether it's a percentage. Now what I mean by that is if I look at 60% and if I was going to write that as a fraction, it would be written as 60 over 100 because a percentage means out of 100. And if I was going to write it as a decimal, you got 60 and all you have to do is divide it by 100. So 1, 2, and that will be 0.6. So that is how it's going to be written as a fraction, and that is how it's written as a decimal. The way to do these type of question, I find it that it's easier to change everything into a decimal. So if I was going to change a half to a decimal, a half as a decimal we know is 0.5, 0.3 is already a decimal, 3/4, if I was going to change that to a decimal, I'll write 4 over here and 3 over here. How many 4 goes into 3? That's 0. I'll put my decimal place here, put a 3 there and add my 0. Now I only add my decimal place here is because I added a 0. So how much 4 goes into 30? Well, I know that 4 times 7 will give me 28 and 4 times 8 will give me 32. So 32 is a bit too big for us, so we'll stick with this one. So we're going to write 7 over here and we will have a remainder, and the remainder that we will have would be 2. So 4 into 2 can't do, so you add a 0. 4 into 20, which is 5. So that becomes 0.75, and then 0.4 is already a decimal. Now after you've done the hard part, let's just rewrite it again. So you've got 0.6, you've got 0.5, you've got 0.3, you have 0.75, and you have 0.4. Now we're going to order it from the smallest first. So the smallest number we can see is 0.3, so I'm going to write 0.3. The next one will be 0.4. The next one after that would be 0.5. The next one would be 0.6. And the next one will be 0.75. Just to finalize this, I'm going to rewrite it as the original. So 0.3, was that anything? No, it wasn't, so get rid of that. 0.4 was 0.4. 0.5 was written as a half, so we got 0.3, 0.4, we've got a half, 0.6 was 60%, and 0.75 was 3/4. And that is how you order them. So the first thing I will do is change everything to a decimal. I will write my numbers down. After I've written my numbers, I will start ordering them, and then finally I will rewrite them how they were originally written down. Okay guys, so you've got another question. It says order these values with the smallest first. Pause the video and have a go at these questions. Okay guys, let's begin. So we know 1/4 is 0.25. If you didn't know that, all you have to do is put the 4 outside because 4 is in the bottom, is the divisor over 1. How much 4 goes into 1? That's 0. Take your 1 up, put your decimal place and put a 10 there. How much 4 into 10? That's 2. Remainder 2. 4 into 2 can't happen. Put a 0. 4 into 20 is 5. So that is how we get 0.25. 30%, we know that 30%, if you're going to go from percentage to a decimal, you're going to divide it by 100. Okay, so you got 30 and you're going to divide by 100. So 1, 2, that's 0.3. Okay, same thing over here. This will be 3 divided by 8. And if I was going to do that, 3 divided by 8 would give me 0.375. That will be 0.2, and that will be 0.175. Okay, so if I just look at these numbers, I can see that this is the smallest. So I'm going to write down 0.17. I've got rid of that. The second smallest would be, so you've got this one, which is 0.25, and you've got 0.2. So let's look at the second number. So the first number is 0, second one is 2, so they both got 2, and the third one, we've got a 5 here and we've got a 0 here, so the smallest one would be 0.2, and then the next one would be 0.25, which I can write as a quarter. The next one would be, so you got 0.3 and you got 0.375. The first number is 0, 0, the second is 3, there's a 3 there, there's an invisible 0 over here. So I can see there's a 7 here and there's a 0 here. The smallest one will be 30%. The next one will be 3 out of 8. And the next one would be, we finished. So that is the smallest to biggest. Well done if you got that correct. If you never, please do pause the video and check where you went wrong. Okay guys, so pause the video and have a go at this question. Order these values with the smallest first. Okay guys, like I said, we need to change all of them into decimals. So 65%, or to change that to a decimal, you just have to divide by 100, which is 0.65. Okay, and this is 7 out of 10, which is another way saying 7 divided by 10. We know that anything that's divided by 10 or anything with zeros in there, we're going to go, because there's 1 0, we're going to go back by 1. So that will be 0.7. This will stay as 0.68. Got 2 divided by 3, which is 0.666. Recurring, so 0.66. Recurring, I'm just going to stick a dot in the top just to show that it's recurring. And then I have 2 divided by 5 and 2 divided by 5. That will give me 0.6. Now, if I was going to order these from smallest to biggest, I'm going to look at all these numbers. Now, I can see there's a lot of 6s going on. Okay, so they've all got a 6 written down as their first digit. The second one, they've got 5. They've got an 8 here, they've got a 6 here, and there's an invisible 0. So the smallest one would be 0.6, which is 3 out of 5. So that's gone, that's gone. The second smallest would be 0.65, which is 65%. The next one would be 2 over 3. The next one would be 0.68. And the next one will be 7 out of 10. So that is how you would order those numbers. Order these values with the smallest first. So you've got art as 14 over 25, biology as 64%, Germany as 49%, Latin as 25 over 43, music as 11 over 15, and physics as 54%. So pause the video and have a go at these questions. The first one would have been Germany. The next one would have been physics. The next one would have been art. The next one would have been Latin. The next one would have been bio. And the next one would have been music. Okay, now if you got those correct, well done. Thank you guys for getting this far to my video. Please do like and subscribe.